Assalamu alaikum. This is Understanding History Book 1, Chapter number 1, Civilization of the Ancient World, Mesopotamia, and Lesson number 7. It's our revision week. Learning objectives of this topic, this lesson are: students will revise and understand what civilization means and its features, knowing why is this region is called the cradle of civilization. Subtopics which we are going to revise are Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, invention of writing, code of Hammurabi, and invention of the calendar. The pages would be 2 to 5. The modern world is influenced by some great civilization which existed thousands of years ago and are said to be the foundations of human culture. Civilization means when humans started to build cities, used agriculture to feed the population, domesticated animals, created a writing system, learned how to make pottery and to use metals to make utensils, tools, and weapons. These civilizations began mostly around river valleys and were agriculture based. These buildings, pottery, ideas, and cultural influences are part of people's life today. The study of ancient history shows that the world's major civilizations have developed near important rivers such as the Indus in Indian subcontinent, as you already have revised it, and Nile in Egypt, the Tigris and Euphrates in Iraq, and the Yellow River in China. Why do you think this happened? In the subcontinent of India, the Indus Valley civilization matched other civilizations such as that of Egypt on the river Nile, Rome along the river Tiber, Persian in the Iranian plateau, and Chinese along Yellow River or Huanghe area. Means these all civilizations were parallel on that time. The ancient Greek civilization, which grew around the Aegean Sea, is considered by historians as the foundation of Western civilization by influencing its language, politics, educational systems, philosophy, art, and architecture. The earliest civilization in South America is Norte Chico in the northern coastal region of Peru. At the foot of Andes Mountains, it existed from 9000 to 800 BCE and was mainly an agricultural society. The Olmec Mesoamerican civilization and inhabited the area of Mexico and the strip of land that joins North and South America. Their artifacts reveal sculptures carved in stones and jade and structures such as temples and pyramids. So historians study all these prehistoric things and concluded about the age and the time of that any civilization that were existed once on our planet. The sites of ancient civilization in the world can be seen on the map. Mesoamerican, Norte Chico, Egyptian, Roman, Greek, Mesopotamian, Persian, Indus Valley, and Chinese. You can see these all civilizations are represented with different colors. All civilization dependent on agriculture for survival, as all civilization grew along the river sides. Use of irrigation and crop rotation yielded surplus food which could be stored. Thus, in early civilizations, people not only farmed but could work as artisans, priests, priestesses, soldiers, and government officials. Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Mesopotamia, which means between two rivers, is the area between the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers in today's Iraq and was also called Sumeria. It is known as the Fertile Crescent and the cradle of civilization. The two rivers produce fertile soil and a stable supply of water for irrigation, which enabled the people living there to make farming their livelihood. The Mesopotamian civilization covered a large span of time as well as area. Early evidence dates back to 5300 BCE when this civilization developed into city states till the conquest of this region by the Persians and then Greeks around the 6th to 3rd centuries BCE. The Mesopotamian civilization covered the entire area of modern Iraq. So we can say that Mesopotamian civilization was in present day Iraq, grew in present day Iraq, and between and around the river Euphrates and Tigris. Invention of writing. So most important thing about Mesopotamian civilization other than other developments was the start of writing. An important feature of this civilization is that it was one of the four places where writing was invented. The Mesopotamian language was known as Sumerian and the script was called cuneiform. When the cuneiform script was deciphered, people were able to learn more about this civilization and its progress over the centuries. This civilization was advanced for its time in literature, language, mathematics, astronomy, and science. You can see a clay tablet showing cuneiform writing. So here is a break for a quiz. Where did ancient Greek civilization grow? First, I need one word answer. What was the other name of Mesopotamian language? Its answer is also one word. I'm waiting for your answers. If we talk about codes of Hammurabi, with the passage of time, city-states developed in the Mesopotamian region and had their own laws. The most famous of these is the Code of Hammurabi, a Babylonian ruler who ruled around 1700 BCE. He made laws for his kingdom and had them inscribed in cuneiform script on a huge stone tablet. These laws were very strict, but unfortunately, they did not apply fairly to everyone. The rich and powerful people got a lighter punishment than the poor ones. Mesopotamia was ruled by different kings from its cities, unlike the Pharaoh of Egypt, whose generations ruled through the centuries. Among the famous Mesopotamian rulers are Sargon, Hammurabi, Ashurbanipal, and Nebuchadnezzar. The Mesopotamian civilization is also known for its art and architecture. Their temples had beautiful and amazingly realistic relief carving on the walls and doors. Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian ruler in 6th century BCE, was famous for the construction of Hanging Garden of Babylon, one of the seventh wonder of the ancient world. Here you can see the Ishtar Gate was the main entrance into Nebuchadnezzar Babylon. It is carved with wonderful ceramic figures of animals and humans. This structure is now in Berlin State Museum in Germany. To keep a track of time, the Sumerians invented calendars which they divided into 12 months based on the cycle of the moon. Since a year consisting of 12 lunar months is shorter by 11 days than a solar year, the Sumerians added a leap month every 3 years in order to catch up with the sun. This interest in measuring long periods of time led them to develop knowledge of astronomy And do you know, Mesopotamian mathematics and science based on a 60 numeral system are believed to be the source of 60-minute hour, the 24 hours a day, and 360-degree circle. The Sumerian calendar was based on the 7-day week. This form of mathematics was also instrumental in early map making. The Sumerians believed in and worshipped many gods who they believed were very powerful but were like humans. Many of these gods controlled natural forces and were also associated with astronomical bodies such as the sun, moon, and stars. When they were displeased with humans, they sent natural disasters like floods, storms, and earthquakes to punish them. Like many civilizations and kingdoms, this civilization also came to an end when other new and powerful empires like Persia took over in the 2nd century BCE. Now, next you will watch a video that will revise your whole knowledge about this topic.
Hi there, I'm John Green. You're watching Crash Course World History, and today we're going to talk about Iraq. No, you purportedly smart globe. We're going to talk about Mesopotamia. I love Mesopotamia because it helped create two of my favorite things, writing and taxes. Why do I like taxes? Because before taxes, the only certainty was... So about 5,000 years ago, in the land Meso, or between the Tigris and Euphrates Potomoi, or rivers, cities started popping up, much like they had in our old friend the Indus River Valley. These early Mesopotamian cities engaged in a form of socialism where farmers contributed their crops to public storehouses, out of which workers, like metal workers or builders... So anyway, if you lived in a city, you could be something other than a shepherd, and thanks to this proto-socialism, you could be reasonably sure that you'd eat. Stan, is there any way we can get another globe in here? I feel like this shot is inadequately globed. This is one of the oldest known works of literature, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. There's a link to the poem in the video info, but suffice it to say that in the showdown between country and city, the city wins. So what were these city-states like? Well, let's take a look at one such city-state, Gilgamesh's hometown of Uruk, in the thought bubble. Uruk was a walled city with an extensive canal system and several monumental temples called ziggurats. The priests of these temples initially had all the power because they were able to communicate directly with the gods, and that was a useful talent because Mesopotamian gods were moody and frankly pretty mean. Like, according to Gilgamesh, they once got mad at us because we were making too much noise while they were trying to sleep, so they decided to destroy all of humanity with a flood. The Tigris and Euphrates are decent as rivers go, but Mesopotamia is no Indus Valley with its on-schedule flooding and easy irrigation. A lot of slave labor was needed to make the Tigris and Euphrates useful for irrigation. They're also difficult to navigate and flood unpredictably and violently. Violent, unpredictable, and difficult to navigate. Given that the region Mesopotamia gave us writing, specifically a form of writing called cuneiform, which was initially created not to like woo lovers or whatever, but to record transactions like how many bushels of wheat were exchanged for how many goats. I'm not kidding, by the way, a lot of cuneiform is about wheat and goats. I don't think you can overestimate the importance of writing, but let's just make 3 points here. First, writing and reading are things that not everyone can do, so they create a class distinction, one that in fact survives to this day. Foraging social orders were relatively egalitarian, but the Mesopotamians had slaves, and they played this metaphorically resonant sport that was like polo, except instead of riding on horses, you rode on other people, and written language played an important role in widening the gap between classes. 2, once writing enters the picture, you have actual history instead of just a lot of guesswork and archaeology. And 3, without writing, I would not have a job. So I'd like to personally thank Mesopotamia for making it possible for me to work while reclining in my lazy boy. So why did this writing happen in Mesopotamia? Well, the Fertile Crescent, while it is fertile, is lacking pretty much everything else. In order to get metal for tools, or stone for sculpture, or wood for burning, Mesopotamia had to trade. This trading eventually led Mesopotamia to develop the world's first territorial kingdom, which will become very important and will eventually culminate in some extraordinarily inbred Habsburgs. The city-state period in Mesopotamia ended around 2000 BCE, probably because drought and a shift in the course of rivers led to pastoral nomads coming in and conquering the environmentally weakened cities, and then the nomads settled into cities cities of their own, as nomads almost always will, unless these new Mesopotamian city-states were similar to their predecessors in that they had temples and writing and their own self-glorifying stories, but they were different in some important ways. First, that early proto-socialism was replaced by something that looked a lot like private enterprise, where people could produce as much as they would like as long as they gave a cut, also known as taxes, to the government. We talk a lot of smack about taxes, but it turns out they're pretty important to creating stable social orders. Things were also different politically because the dudes who'd been the tribal chiefs became like full-blown kings who tried to extend their power outside of cities and also tried to pass on their power to their sons. The most famous of these early monarchs is Hammurabi, or as I remember him from my high school history class, the Hammer of Abi. Hammurabi ruled the new kingdom of Babylon from 1792 BCE to 1750 BCE. Hammurabi's main claim to fame is his famous law code, which established everything from like the wages of ox drivers to the fact that the punishment for taking an eye should be having an eye taken. Hammurabi's law code can be pretty insanely harsh. Like if a builder builds a shoddy building and then the owner's son dies in a collapse, the punishment for that is the execution of the builder's son.
At the end of lesson, here's your assignment. Assignment questions. You have to revise all the topic again and answer these questions. What is meant by the cradle of civilization and which region does this term refer to? The second question is, what was the code of Hammurabi? Explain its importance. At the end of lesson, here is an activity. It's an interview with the past. Which historical figure would you most like to interview? Here is I'm giving you some interview questions too. You can add some more questions, make it more interesting. You have studied many historical personalities like Mahmud Ghazni, Al-Biruni, Muhammad of Ghor, Qutbuddin Aibak, Balban, Razia Sultana, Khiljiz, and many more. You can invite any one of your favorite personality and have a session of question answers with them.